Okay, my lions, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Tuesday, March 25th, 2025, pre-market report. Bunch of things to cover with you here. Some of this is just so important, people, and I want you guys and girls to be prepared and ready for what's about to hit us. Now, with that, before we even get there, let me start off with a few things. Let's look at the 10-year yield real quick. The US 10-year yield is higher. That means debt is selling off. There appears to be cash here moving from the debt market, making its way into the stock market. Cash moves through the markets in predictable patterns. All right. The game here appears to be risk on yet again. Doesn't mean it's going to work. I have said for as far back as you want to go, while everyone's out here saying this is the big crash, there's so many YouTubers out here saying this is it, and they're all wrong. You already know why. The real crash will begin and end in the debt market. You already know that. Number two, a real crash scenario isn't a slow burn like this. It's a rapid drop in stock prices or any asset. When any asset crashes, it's not a slow burn. Everyone runs to the door at the same time. So please, guys and girls, disengage yourself from anyone out here trying to push that kind of narrative, because that's not the case. Now, we're seeing this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with regard to tariffs are on and tariffs are off and tariffs are on and tariffs are off, and they may be coming back on again. We're going to talk about that in a second. You can't make it up. But so what's happening here very clearly is President Trump, the Trump administration, they don't like seeing the market fall, even though this is a normal correction. I personally said this yesterday. I think this was a mistake for President Trump to back off on tariffs. I'm not a tariff guy, but this bipolar disorder economic policy, what is our economic policy right now? Can any of you tell me right now what is the economic policy or trade policy of the United States? We have none. We don't even have tariffs. It's on off again. I mean, it's really non-existent, and that's a problem. But that does not mean that the mechanism here via vast debt expansion, currency purchasing power destruction doesn't have the potential to push the stock market higher. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. So again, I want you guys and girls to pay attention to the instability that we're seeing here in the debt market, this up and down, up and down, up and down. The reason why we're seeing this right now, again, the sell-off in the debt market isn't the big sell-off in the debt market. It's because cash is now trying at least to make its way back into the stock market on the back of a completely disoriented, literally non-existent economic policy. Now, for those of you that believe that President Trump has a clear economic policy, tell me what it is. All right. Obviously, it was tariffs, but tariffs are off, on, off. Hold that thought, because we got to talk a little more about it. I'm not putting President Trump down, for those of you that are getting triggered here. I'm asking a serious question. What is the economic policy of the United States right now? Can anyone answer that? Anyway, that's the 10-year yield. Now, the dollar. The US dollar has been decimated against other currencies as of late. US dollar is above a critical level here. This 104. Okay, let's see if we hold that. I personally would like to see the dollar hold here. This is on a comparative basis. On an absolute strength basis, coming down to purchasing power, just hold that thought, because what I'm going to show you, it probably is going to blow your mind. Anyway, so that's that. So on the back of this now again, on and off economic policy with regard to tariffs, we had a nice rally in the market yesterday. Nothing overly dramatic, but a rally nonetheless. And you can see what's going on in the debt market. Cash leaving the debt market, looking to make its way into the stock market. All right. Stock futures are again higher this morning. Okay, not by much, but we'll see how this plays out. Commodities. Commodities are catching a bid here pretty much across the board, at least the ones that you and I pay attention to. You all know the story. You need commodity exposure. Silver, Greg Mannarino's favorite asset of all time. Period. The end. I don't know another way to put it. Cryptocurrencies mixed this morning, at least at the time I am doing this. All right. As a matter of fact, for those of you that are interested in Bitcoin, kind of the mommy of all cryptos, I started doing a new thing for all of you. And this is not for me, guys and girls. Right on my website, traderschoice.net, there is a link in the description of this video. Click on that. It will take you to my daily breakdown of the S&P 500 with specific trades. And then right under that, you're going to see my outline for Bitcoin. Again, where Bitcoin goes, pretty much goes the rest of the crypto space here. It's the mommy or the daddy, however you want to look at it. So go have a look at that if you are so inclined. Now let's move forward here and talk about what's going on. If you recall, I don't know how many times I've said this, that we have a tsunami of inflation coming at us here. We're already just starting to see the effects of this. What this means is the currency is losing purchasing power. Things aren't just getting more expensive because they're becoming whatever it might be, more scarce, although we're going to face scarcities. There's no doubt about it. Supply chain disruptions are coming. Scarcities are coming. No doubt about it. And a lot of this is about this incoherent, non-existent economic policy of the United States right now. I mean, come on and off again tariffs. Is that the economic policy of the United States, on and off again tariffs? Because tell me what I'm missing here. But again, the mechanism here appears to be vast debt expansion. No shock to anybody that follows this plot. What have we all said? Be ready for anything. War. This war over here in Yemen is expanding very, very rapidly. The funding here, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars, probably $1 trillion very, very soon. Could you only imagine? Now there's a second U.S. carrier strike group in the Gulf over there, joining the Carl Vinson is now joining the Theodore Roosevelt to again continue this war in Yemen, which is not a war on terrorism, it's a war on you. It's a war to allow the Fed to inflate, to allow the Fed to get stronger. Henceforth, again, President Trump's policy, weaker dollar. I want a weaker dollar. I'm demanding a weaker dollar. This doesn't help you. It helps the Fed. It also helps the stock market. Weaker dollar. A weaker dollar, oh my God, man, it is such a destructive force for the economy and the middle class. Again, no explanation as to why we're at war right now. No presidential address here. No president's address as to why we need a weaker currency here. It sure as hell does help the corporate agenda. You all know that. A weaker currency helps multinational corporations take advantage of the exchange rate. Doesn't help you. It sure as hell helps the corporate elite. And that's it. Now, this is a chart from Trading Economics with regard to food inflation, the cost of groceries, which Trump talked about every day. Grocery prices, bringing them down. We're bringing them down. There's nothing, not one policy that the president has put in effect right now that's going to stop the cost of groceries from rising or the cost of living from rising. Now, let me look at this chart here. This is just from November. Do you see a particular trend going on here? November, December, 2025, then we're January, February. Okay, we're 1 month shy. But this trend is not going to stop as the dollar gets continued to be decimated. Vast debt expansion, war, the cost of war. Who pays for the war? Where's this cash coming from? Again, we don't have a war chest sitting somewhere. Trump has to get on the phone with Powell and tell him, I need cash. And the Fed's orgasmic over it. Yeah, how much do you need, President Trump? How much? Don't worry about it. We're going to add whatever you need to a digital screen. The Fed, all they want to do is lend. That's their power. That's their one Achilles heel as well. And we're not taking advantage of that. Again, you want to stop this? You want to end this whole thing? You want to end central banking? Do the polar opposite of what we're seeing now. We do not need low rates. We need higher rates. We need to return to a constitutional money system, which we're not doing. Okay, we're becoming the crypto capital of the world. We're not adding gold and or silver to our strategic reserves. We're adding cryptocurrencies. Do you see where we're being pushed here or thrust? So again, how does that look for you? How's it working out for you? All the promises from our illustrious president here. You've been lied to. You've been duped. Did you know we were going to be thrust into a new war to allow debt to expand? Did you realize? Well, you did know about lower rates. He did tell you that because he thinks you're stupid. You see, when a president or any politician comes out on their big events here and says, I promise you lower rates, and the crowd cheers for it, you're listening to throngs of submorons. I don't know another way to put it. Now, this is another chart with regard to a percentage change of inflation. Four categories here. Let's have a look at this. All items, obviously, much higher. This is food. I already showed you that. Energy, the least of them. And this is all items less food and energy. So this trend is going to continue. Now I'm going to show you a chart right off the Federal Reserve's own website because they're laughing at you. They're laughing at you, the Federal Reserve, of course. Look at this chart here. Going back to 1913. This is where we are now. The dollar is evaporating. The purchasing power is evaporating. It's going to evaporate faster. Again, there is not a single policy, not one, to address inflation right now. Again, we're hearing promises and demands for a weaker dollar. That means this will worsen. That means the Federal Reserve gets stronger, not weaker. Okay? You guys and girls really got to get with the program here. I want to cover a couple of other things here, guys and girls, because I keep getting questions about Tesla. Greg, should I buy Tesla? Greg, should I buy Tesla? I did a whole breakdown on Tesla from a technical standpoint. From a fundamental standpoint, you should be running for the hills. Tesla sales plunged in Europe for a second month in February. Elon Musk has become the symbol of fascism. You don't like that? Too bad. That's a fact. The world doesn't like it. The world doesn't like our new second in command. I don't know who he is. I don't know. How do you define Elon Musk? Is he the president? Is he the acting president? Is Trump just a subservient entity to Elon Musk? What's going on here? You guys and girls, let me know, because Doge, as you and I have known since the beginning, all this was a shell game. I told you guys from the get-go. I told you guys from day one what Doge really was going to be, a shell game. Let's take cash from here and let's use it for something else. So any savings, apparently, that we were going to get from Doge, it's gone already. With funding the new war. Shell game. Just as you and I said it would be. I said, watch what's going to happen. Vast debt expansion. Well, here we go. You think we nailed that one to the wall, my lions? Now, let's talk about this real quick. Make it up. Trump is back saying he's pledging auto pharma tariffs in the near future. Is this our economic policy? On and off again, tariffs again? There's something going on here. I honestly believe that President Trump is very confused. I think he's very stressed out. I think the man doesn't have any type. There is no U.S. economic policy right now. Again, for those of you that think I'm wrong, what is the economic policy of the United States? Is it tariffs on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off? What is it? Let me know, because for those of you that are smarter than me, which is probably every single one of you, I want to hear what you believe President Trump's economic policy is. Insanity. Maybe insanity is an economic policy. Now, China is inviting U.S. business leaders to Beijing as it tries to decipher Trump's trade plans or his economic policy, for which there is none. China's taking advantage of this. China's seeing this as an opportunity here. Again, the United States is done. We're dead and buried. We have no coherent policy. We have war. We have dollar devaluation. That actually appears to be the economic policy of the United States. War, vast debt expansion, and any mechanism they can utilize to kill the dollar and prop up the stock market. Sound about right to you? You're losing. You're losing. Okay, I don't know what other proof you need here. When are some of you out here going to start writing to President Trump saying, hold on a minute, what are you doing to prevent dollar devaluation? He will not answer you because he's calling for lower rates. Lower rates means a loss of purchasing power, which means everything I just showed you is going to get worse. Are we on the same page, or are you still lost in some delusional state? You understand? And this is an incredible thing. China sees what's going on here in the United States, and they're laughing at us. They're laughing at us. The United States, again, no policy. We have no economic policy. We have nothing, okay? Sees the United States being isolated from the rest of the world. No one wants our dollars. No one wants our debt. No one wants our products, period. You almost have to think, is the current administration deliberately destroying the United States Yeah, I believe that's what's going on because I've been telling you this for the longest time, and it's not new. Biden was preacher was doing the same thing. We're being systematically eradicated, but right now this is taking on a whole new meaning with vast debt expansion. Did you realize that we were going to be in a new war right now? Did you realize we were going to get everything that we're seeing right now, and your cost of living skyrocketing? I'm telling you, you haven't seen anything yet. If you think you think it's over, you think it's over right now. Man, I tell you, people, we got to take action. We got to take action. What does that mean for you and me? All right. We're not going to change our plan. There's no deviation here. Betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank, holding hard assets, gold, more specifically silver, gaining access to commodities. Yes, I still believe you need cryptocurrency in your portfolio here. With regard to the stock market, it looks like every new mechanism you could dream about is going to be used to pump more cash into it. Again, economy is dead. And we've been talking about this for I don't know how long. The faster they can crush the economy, the potentially higher the stock market's going to go. You understand? Because again, wealth must be stolen from, you're being robbed blind. Your wealth, whatever wealth you may have acquired in your life, is now being deliberately, methodically pushed right up to the 1 and 2 percenters here. It's the greatest theft that has ever been seen in the history of the world right now. Other than the gold that's probably being stolen from Fort Knox here. Again, there's no rush. You notice we were hearing about the gold might not be there, the gold might not be there. Where's the rush of President Trump to go over there or Elon Musk? Because I'm telling you right now what's happening. The greatest theft it should be a movie. Again, Elon Musk and President Trump are probably stealing the gold right now, and they're redistributing it to the oligarchs. Then they're going to tell us the gold isn't there. It's going to send the United States into free fall faster than it is right now. The gold was probably there. There's no rush to go see if it's there. Do you think there's maybe something going on here? I believe the greatest theft in the history of the world is going on right now. Musk and Trump are stealing the gold. Do you think that's far-fetched? Like everything else here, like no economic policy that we have here in the United States, our tariff on and off policy, make that up. It's all part of the same illusion here, or delusion. You guys are going to let me know. But that's what's happening here. That's why there's no rush to go see if the gold is there, because they're taking it. And they're redistributing it to the oligarchs around the world. And you and I are going to be left holding a bag of excrement that stinks from here to high heaven. Sound about right to you? Yeah, it does to me too. Love all you guys. I'll see you later, all right? 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. That's all.